episode of The Preacher and the Prodigy. This is week 3 of our college football podcast. We pick games.
It's 2021, week 3.
Yes, it is. And we're happy that COVID's not affecting football as it did last year.
Let's talk a little bit about last week. Any games that stick in your mind as being particularly impactful? We had Stanford rise up and Clay Helton fall off.
Arkansas rise up, and Texas fans now a little bit worried too.
Texas A&M fans probably a little bit worried.
Yes, they are. Colorado played a great game. Ohio State lost, which is great.
You hate to see it. No, you don't.
But then, see, Michigan beat Washington. Their Cyhawk game was...
went according to my prediction.
Not according to mine.
Yeah.
But...
who cares if Spencer Petras can't complete a pass to a Hawkeye?
The defense, or...
so long as Brock Purdy can.
Completes a pass to it, yeah. So, this is our week 3 slate.
Are you going to say our schedule? Yeah, let's talk about where we're at.
You have gone 7-3 against the spread, pretty good, and I've gone 4-6, so not so great. I've got 3 games to catch up with you, and see
it's a good slate this weekend. Much better than last week.
See if I can catch up with you.
All right.
Coming to Norman, we have the old Big 8 rivalry game. Nebraska at number 3 Oklahoma. The Sooners are coming in as a 22.5 favorite. That seems really high for a rivalry game. And Oklahoma has struggled against Tulane, but Nebraska has not been able to show that they are legit. Who are you taking?
I was going to let you go first on this one.
All right, I'll go first. I'm going to take OU. It's in Norman. It's Oklahoma. I think Spencer Rattler is going to go off. I just don't think that a Nebraska defense that allowed 31 points to Illinois could possibly stop Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley's offense. And I think Alex Grinch will be able to stop dual threat quarterback Adrian Martinez. So I'm going to take OU on this one.
I'm going to take Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska will win the game. I don't think they'll keep it close. But I do think that 22.5 points is too many points to give away. And I think this is the kind of game that will be a 17-point game. But I'm going to take the points. And I'm going to take Nebraska to rise up with Scott Frost's back against the wall and make it a game. It can. I mean, 37-20. Does that sound so far off for you?
Not really, but I think
you're thinking it's more 42-17.
I'm thinking it's I think it's going to be more 49-24 kind of game, 45-21 kind of game.
All right, we disagree. A chance for you to pick up a game on me.
Yep. Going up against Indiana, falling off from a great year last year at home against number 8 Cincinnati, best group of 5 team out there. Cincinnati is on the road, coming in at a 3.5-point favorite. Who are you taking?
This is a tough call for me. I'm going to go with the home dog, Indiana. But I don't feel real good about it. I really just don't have a strong feeling on this one. I think Tom Allen definitely had a wake-up call against Iowa. And they played much better against, was it Idaho week 2, I believe, just kind of rolled. So I said earlier on in this year that the party's over team for me nationally was the Cincinnati Bearcats. And so I'm going to take Indiana and the points. I'm taking the points both of these games so far.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you again. Cincinnati has really shown themselves to be number 8 and be a group of 5 team is pretty good.
They're riding on last year, though.
They're riding on last year, but they haven't shown any signs of slowing down yet, have they? And I think that Indiana scoring 6 points against Iowa is not that great, even though Iowa's defense is pretty good. And I just like Cincinnati. I like Desmond Ridder, best quarterback in the AAC. Their defense is very good for group of 5 team. And I just like Cincinnati in this one. I think this is a game that could go either way, but I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I think it's 23-20 game either way, so I'm going to take the points. All right, Michigan State at Miami. Miami is a 6-point home favorite to the traveling Spartans going across country into warmer climes. Michigan State looked pretty good in its opening 2 games. Miami looked not that great. I don't know what the line was this summer for this game, but you have to assume that it has come down significantly.
Yes, and I'm going to take Michigan State all the way. I just think that Miami, they do have De'Aaron King, they do have some returning starters, but they lose a lot of people. And Michigan State being really solid, winning by 17 points at Northwestern, when some people think Northwestern is going to be pretty decent and Michigan State going to be terrible. The Michigan State's running game has been solid, and I just don't think that Miami has the overall, I don't know. I think Michigan State's a more well-rounded team that they've shown. They, played Northwestern. They had Youngstown State, which is basically a game that you can just look away from. They're obviously going to win this game, that game. But I'm going to take Michigan State at Miami, and I'm going to take the points.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the points, too. I'm going to go with Michigan State on the road in a pretty well-played game. I just don't think Miami's a particularly intimidating place to play. And so we're going to agree on that one, both taking the visiting Spartans. Next up, the number 1 team in the country, the Crimson Tide of Alabama, heading to the Swamp to take on some quarterback controversy in Florida.
Yeah, they have tough quarterback battle, but I think that no matter whose side it goes to this game, and I think it's going to go both ways, I think the running game is going to be solid for Florida. It always is. I'm pretty sure the leading rushing team in yards per game so far this year. They've shown good against some all-right teams, but not incredible teams. And, I think that Alabama is obviously Alabama. Their defense is incredible, top 3 in the nation. Mm-hmm. Offense is incredible, top 3 in the nation. And I think that, this could be like a 14-point game or a 17-point game. And
so you think the line's in a good spot?
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm taking Bama. I just think that Bama is that good, even on the road, even in a hostile place like the Swamp. They've got the defense that will travel. I'm taking Alabama on this one, and I think it's going to be a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with you because, the way Bama's looked in his first 2 games, they just couldn't be stopped on either side of the ball. Mm-hmm. On defense, they were getting to the quarterback almost every time. On offense, they were getting positive yardage every time. I just got to take Bama. Florida's a very good team, don't get me wrong on that. Their running game is spectacular. Their quarterbacks, both of them are very good. But Alabama is just incredible. They have not been able to be stopped. And as we talked about earlier, Miami, they put up 47 points. Was it 47 points against them? They weren't even trying that hard.
No.
They could have scored 70 in that game if they were going all out. So I'm going to take Bama in this one.
All right. So we agree on 2. We disagree on 2. Last game for the week is the Whiteout. Yeah, Happy Valley, number 22, fighting Brian Harsons of Auburn, come up from the Plains to the Nittany Mountains to battle the Penn State Nittany Lions. You have a line of Penn State by 5. I've seen it a bit higher than that, so maybe there's some money coming in on Auburn. But who are you taking in this one? It's a great early season interconference. It feels like a preview of the Outback Bowl or the Citrus Bowl, Capital One Bowl, whatever they're called. Well, maybe, if they're both solid, but these teams look like ones that would hook up on a rainy January 1 many years. So, Penn State giving 5.
Man, this is a coin flip, but I chose Auburn to be the one team that's not in the preseason top 25. It's going to be top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Whiteout, though, I'm going to take Auburn, but not to win the game. I think this could be a 1-point game, 3-point game, comes down to a field goal. I think this game could go into overtime, too. But I'm going to take Auburn in this one, and I like what Bo Nix has been able to do. It's the first time they scored 60 points in back-to-back games since, I can't even remember when, but a long time. And Penn State has had a pretty good win at Wisconsin. But I just think that Auburn is going to make this game tough. Maybe not to win, but I'm going to take the points.
See, this is the easiest game of the slate for me to pick. I'm taking Penn State. In a whiteout, Saturday night, college game day. I mean, I think this is just going to be a really strong game for Penn State. I wish it wasn't. I don't like Penn State one bit. And I do like Brian Harsin. And I've always thought Auburn has cool uniforms, too. I like their kind of Chicago Bears scheme there. I think Penn State wins this game. I think it's going to be a pretty well-played game. I think teams are both going to be focused for this one. I like Penn State about 31-14. I think Penn State's going to use that atmosphere. I don't think that the system that Brian Harsin has been putting in place in Auburn has been tested. And a lot of these guys, they just have not played in a road environment like Happy Valley for now 2 years. And so I'm definitely going to take the crowd. I'm going to take the atmosphere. I'm taking Penn State. And this feels like an easy pick for me at 5.
All right. So these are our Week 3 picks. I have some work to do to catch up with you.
But we disagreed on 3, so we could be tied potentially.
We could be tied. I don't know. I hope I come back in this one. It's a great slate. Get ready for Saturday.
Any other games that you think we'll be having on? Notre Dame, Purdue could be. Notre Dame looks vulnerable, but we thought Purdue was going to be terrible coming into the season. Purdue has one great player in offense, one great player in defense.
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And so we'll see about that one.
And then there's another ranked versus ranked game, but who really cares about Arizona, BYU in these parts?
You mentioned Fresno,
UCLA.
Kalen DeBoer. I mean, that guy is just from Sioux Falls. He is climbing up the coaching ranks. And
Jake Haener, man, he can throw the ball pretty good.
So we keep your eye on that score.
Yeah, we could have picked some games other than the ones we picked, but overall it's a very good slate. Let's see what happens Week 3. You're the Preacher, I'm the Prodigy.